Is this necessary? I am Elmarie, and definitely I'm nowhere near 40 years of age or older, but I was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer at the age of 27 years old. Being here and being blessed to have battled my diagnosis in the past 3 years, I just hope that if you or anybody you know was recently diagnosed with breast cancer, I hope to enlighten you on what's to come. Very interesting, right? Your body most times will give you signs and will tell you when something is not right. And I did feel a lump in my breast, my right breast, that is. But okay, let's just rewind. I did my medical school in St. Lucia, and at some point I had a small nodule on the side of my breast. I got an ultrasound. It seemed benign, and I was recommended a biopsy. But I figured since I'll be going to the US, I can, follow up at some point there and just make sure everything is okay with the nodule. And still at that age, I was probably 23. I don't know, but somewhere, no, not 23, but yes, somewhere around that age. And I still feel like it most likely was a benign nodule. But somewhere around COVID, so I went to St. Lucia for my vacation in December of 2019. I started my residency in July. And somewhere around February, I felt this lump. And by the time I felt the lump, it was pretty huge. And the pandemic was like so active. I was an intern. She was hitting the fan, and like it was crazy. You know what happened. Wherever you were, you felt it. But me, I was in the front line trying to understand what was going on with this infectious pandemic. So by July, August, the pandemic kind of died. And in September, because I'm a year older, I decided, let me take my health seriously. Let me get checked. Let me tell my attending or my primary care doctor that I have this lump. I need to get it checked ASAP. And we did. She ordered an ultrasound for me, a mammogram right away. And when I was getting the ultrasound, the technician was like, this doesn't look too good. She felt that it looked suspicious. She called a radiologist who came to look at it, and right there he was like, yeah, we need to do a biopsy. They scheduled a biopsy for me, and right at that time my attendant had also referred me to a breast surgeon. So I saw the breast surgeon the first time, and we went through what would happen when the results come and all of that. So I did 2 biopsies. I did the biopsy of the mass, and I did a lymph node biopsy. That happened around October, November, more like October. My timelines are not the best because I'm just trying to give you the rundown, but I will try to post pictures, and hopefully I have some pictures because unfortunately I didn't really document my journey. All I can remember is I was on night float. I started night float after my clinic week, and the Monday morning, I had a missed call. No, the Monday afternoon, I had a missed call because I went in Sunday night, and so when I come out of work, I go to bed. So I had a missed call, and from the voicemail, it was the surgeon telling me that he has the news for me and he wanted to discuss, the results and whatnot. So on Tuesday after let me see. I go back in on Monday night. So on Tuesday morning, I stayed back so that I can, meet with the surgeon to talk about the results. I don't even know how he broke it because I literally went into a daze. Okay, he asked me how am I doing, just trying to like lay the ground and, have some comfort level in terms of the discussion that we were going to have. And then he broke the news to tell me that the results came back as having malignant activity. And after that, he was explaining that he's had a patient that was as young as me who went through the process of getting treated for breast cancer, and like she has kids now and she's doing well. So after that part, the when you're watching a movie and it's like somebody said something and after that it's just dead silence and then you're just in your thoughts but the person is speaking. So that's exactly what was happening. And the thoughts that I can remember was just like, I need to do a will. I need to do my healthcare proxy. I need to say I'm DNR TNI. I don't know like how long I'll live. But anyway, let me just think about fighting this and just pushing through because I have one life and I need to just to make the best of it. And then afterwards, I guess I snap back into reality and, I asked, I guess we were just talking about what's next. I got in touch with my chief who was going into hemonc actually, and she told me to just go home. I was going to stay. I told her that I was going to do my night shift, that I'm fine, and she said you need to go home, and they just got backup of coverage for me for both weeks because I needed to, sort out my life now. So I got in touch with the hemonc fellow that worked with us and I told him about my situation and he told me to come to the office and make an appointment. They'll go over stuff with me and help me through the process. We spoke about a chemo port. We spoke about getting the PET scan for staging. I told just a few of my colleague friends, like it was just 3 of them, and the chiefs had to know as well. One of the chiefs suggested that I get a second opinion. I didn't go through second opinion thinking that, if they do another biopsy, it wouldn't be cancer. I went with the mindset that I'm going to try to get into this hospital that specializes in cancer care and is one of the top hospitals in the US. We discussed everything I did. I gave them all the information, the discs, the slides, and we came up with a plan. And the plan would be for me to do chemotherapy for 8 weeks, surgery, and then radiation. And this is how it went. Before my first treatment or considering treatment, the advice came about regarding egg cryopreservation. If you're a young woman who has not had any kids and is diagnosed with breast cancer, that will come up in your plan and discussion with the oncologist. One thing about breast cancer treatment is that you would be in a menopausal state and you will be kept in that state even after treatment in order to complete everything. And even when you're done, you're not certain that you will start having a menstrual cycle again. You might not have another menstrual cycle and then you will not be fertile. You will not be able to have kids. You want to know what I decided or what I thought? I didn't have the time. I just wanted to go with my treatment and get it done. Like I just wanted to get my treatment done, get this out of the way, fight it and be done. But then since that's an option, I don't know what will happen. I will do it. So I found like a fertility center. I got consultation. I did all the what have you, hormonal therapy, the injections. Like you have to inject yourself. They have to check your ovaries. Oh my gosh, it was a process. And I didn't want to wait. And I had until the end of December to complete everything. And I started my treatment on the 29th of December of 2020. After my first treatment, I'm getting nauseous right now because I'm very sensitive. But after my first treatment, my uncle bought us food from like a fast food restaurant. It's called White Castle or whatever. And I just felt so nauseous after. Like, I couldn't bear myself. Like I just got rid of everything. And to this day, even when I look at the symbol, I get nauseous. Even thinking about it and talking about it right now, like I feel nauseous. But it's very transient. It goes away. But that was my first experience in terms of getting my chemotherapy. I never got a port because I just went with getting the IV line every time I go for my chemo because I did it every other week. So I had a break in between. And that was my first chemo experience. I don't know what else to say, but yeah. after my second treatment, I got a haircut, and within the week or the week after, it was just like coming out. Like I would literally do this and it would just come out. And I told my aunt, oh my God, was full. Let me see if I can try to reorient myself here. I asked her to shave it off, and oops, all of this is happening and I'm still actively in my residency. So after I got that time off, I had to find a way to, work with the chiefs. I spoke with my program director and we came up with I would work on my days without chemotherapy, which is when I would be stronger. And then the week of chemotherapy, I would be on an elective, because within 48 to 72 hours after chemotherapy, the weakness, the fatigue, the nausea, it hits and it's really horrible. Thankfully, I didn't have a lot of vomiting, and I'm grateful for that. Actually, I probably didn't vomit at all during my entire chemotherapy, maybe 3 times or something like that, but I'm just grateful for that. I worked on the floors. I worked on mainly floors actually, and electives when I'm on my chemo week. After that, I went on a vacation or a break. Then I had my surgery. My surgery went well. I healed so well. I had the drains and everything, but all went well. I finished my chemo in April. I had my surgery in May, June, and I started my radiation in October, probably end of September to October. And I did my radiation until I think November or December. I didn't ring the bell because I felt too shy to do so. Don't ask me why. So after radiation, you actually have to wait at least 6 months before you do any other surgery. So I had my reconstruction surgery in my geriatric fellowship, just at the beginning of my geriatric fellowship, literally after my internal medicine board exams. But yeah, that's what I did. And here we are now. I can't speak. Can I speak? Can you speak, Elmarie? Just cut. Why isn't somebody cutting? Am I supposed to do this myself?